How are we doing today? I know y'all asses is like, so, lady, you over here switching times on when you go live. Y'all, I just go live when I feel called, so I ain't even going live. And I felt called to go live right now. So let's get into it. That could be significant. I feel like these next 6 months of your life is about to be significant. And I feel the need to tell y'all that because I feel like y'all don't know where you're going, but I do. I hear, so, for some reason I want to call her Yeepa, but her name is not Yeepa, but Heartbreak, that's on that Drake album. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Go listen to that song because that could be significant. But I feel the need to tell y'all that, like, y'all don't know where you're going, but God knows. And I feel like that's significant because I feel like a lot of y'all have been losing faith. A lot of y'all don't even believe in miracles. A lot of y'all don't believe that because y'all keep reflecting back on these past 6 months on how shit has messed up. And it's like, okay, but let's turn these next 6 months into your next season. It's so funny because I feel like some of you guys are stuck into loops. But some of you guys are waking up out of your loops. And I feel like that's significant. And what's crazy is because right now, I don't need my glasses. I feel like a lot of you guys are sitting over here taking off y'all rose-colored glasses. A lot of y'all are sitting over here taking off all the things that no longer serve you. And I feel like that's what's going to help you. But the point of the matter is that if you have not identified that there are things, there are people, there are places, there are foods that no longer serve you, then how are you going to be able to identify what's for you versus what's not for you? I want you to understand something. The only way that you can evolve, the only way that you can sit over here and shift your way of thinking, shift your way of life is if you sit over here and do what? If you sit over here and shift yourself. See, a lot of people be sitting over here worried about everybody else. You be worried about your past situations. You be worried about, you know, is this going to work for me versus if this is not going to work for me? Should I go down this path? Should I go down that path? But in reality, God is just like, pick one. In reality, and it's so funny because we always make things more complicated than what the fuck they need to be. But in reality, they're not that complicated. Relationships ain't that complicated. Life isn't that complicated. Like, it's funny because we always overanalyze what we could be doing better. And you know what's so crazy is I just got done doing a reading. And I've been getting distracted. And it's not even about distractions, but it's just like there's a lot of things that's trying to get my attention. And I feel like that's significant too. You got to sit over here and figure out where you want to put your attention at versus where you don't want to put your attention at. I feel like that's significant too. Where do you want to be? Or do you just want to be a wannabe? And I feel like that's the rose-colored glasses. Is you identifying like, yo, are you ready to take yourself out of this same old bland-ass pattern? Which is, i.e., going to work, coming home, going to school, coming home, fucking sitting over here dealing with pointless relationships that's not getting you anywhere. You know you've been with this person 5 years. They're not trying to marry you. Moving on from that. Like, are you taking off your glasses? Or are you putting them on? For some of you, it's time for you to take off your rose-colored glasses. But for some of y'all need to put y'all real glasses on and actually see what the fuck is going on versus what's not going on. How you doing, beauty? And I feel like that's significant. It's time for you to see what's for you. Some of you guys need to do some self-evaluations, okay? Now let's get into it. Y'all, I know I've been going for a few days, and if you caught me last night, then you caught me last night. If you didn't, oh the fuck well, I'm back. We're about to get into some downloaded messages, and we about to sit over here and just keep going, point after point. I wrote down overprotective parent. I also wrote down PTSD from losing wife and kids. I was watching Finding Nemo, and it's so crazy because I had to rewatch it like 3 other times at 3 different times. Like, so 3's could be significant, but I feel the significance of that is that maybe you were raised by an overprotective parent, or you are an overprotective parent, or that's the style that you are going to raise your kids in. And I feel the need to sit over here and tell you to rethink it. I also feel like God is sitting over here saying that it's so funny. When I was watching fucking Finding Nemo, I was like, the only reason why he was overprotective was because he had PTSD from losing his wife and his other kids. So maybe you have lost like a loved one that was really close to you, like a significant other. Maybe you lost kids. And I feel like that PTSD that's living up within you, and it's so crazy. I'm not about to sit over here and tell y'all to let it go, but I want y'all to sit over here and look at yourself and see, is that still serving you? Holding on to that hurt, is that serving you? Because I want you to understand something. I'm a woman and I lost a kid too. And it's crazy because it's like, I can talk about it now. I could be open about it now to where it doesn't hurt no more, where I'm not embarrassed no more. And it's like, there's more kids to be had. There's other people for you to love. And I feel like that's why God is calling y'all attention. If y'all are watching my live right now and you have lost somebody that you was in a relationship with, you lost specifically like kids, it's like, but now it's time for you to try again. Because your life did not end when you lost them. That was just a life event that was supposed to trigger an awakening within you. And now it's time to deal with that so we can prepare you for this next lifetime, of peace. And I know y'all are going to be like, well, how the fuck do I find peace within losing people? It's a part of life. You have to understand that when you start looking at people, you losing your parents, you losing your significant loved ones, you losing your child, you losing your grandparents. It's all a part of life. And you are not God, so you can't determine whether if they were supposed to live till they're 100, or if they're supposed to live till they 50, or if they're supposed to live till they fucking only 6 months. I lost my daughter at fucking 5.5 months, basically. 22 weeks, I want to say. Because we were 1 week away from, if she lived one more fucking week longer, they could have actually saved her. So that could be significant. But I always say that everything happens for a reason, y'all. And I feel like the significance of that is that y'all keep sitting over here saying y'all not ready. Because right underneath there, I wrote down, you're not ready. And it says, yes, I am, Dad. And I feel like that's the significance of that for y'all. How you doing, Shantae? You know, Shantae, I was thinking about you earlier today. I was doing this reading, and Shantae, it was like I kept feeling like I wanted to say your name during the reading. Go watch the reading I did for you, Shantae, again. The new one that I posted. Go rewatch that one. Because that could be significant. But I felt the need that I was going to do another reading for you. So maybe that's confirmation that I do need to do one for you. I'm probably going to do another reading for you, Shantae. You don't have to worry about paying me. But I felt the need to tell you that. Because I really was doing another person's reading. And I was about to say your name like 3 times. 3 is significant, y'all. 3 is significant. Now, anyway, going back, I wrote down, you're not ready. And Finding Nemo, the dude was like, yes, I am, Dad. And I feel the need to tell y'all that a lot of y'all think that you're not ready to move forward. A lot of y'all think that y'all are not ready to take this next step, because I started this whole live based off saying that, listen, 6 months has already passed. You haven't even realized that you've been in a depression. You've had this over your head. Like, you've been sitting over here like stuck. You haven't even looked up and realized it's been 6 months since you ain't had a job. It's been 6 months since you've been out of this relationship. Some of y'all, it's longer. It's been 6 months since you sat over here and decided to start your business. It's been 6 months. What is working versus what's not working? I feel like God wants you to reflect off this past 6 months. God wants you to reflect based off of like what has been working for you versus what has not worked for you. And now for some of y'all, it could be 3 months. It could be 3 years. 3's. But the point of the matter is that God wants you to also realize, okay, now that you identify what has not worked, let's sit over here and realize what has worked. Let's sit over here and let's sit over here and revamp that shit. So when I said that some of y'all is not ready to move on to your next relationships, y'all keep saying, I'm not ready, God. But God is like, yes, you are. Some of y'all are like, yo, I'm not ready to have no kids. I'm not ready to have no kids. God is like, yes, you are. That's your next level. I wrote down sea turtles. And it's crazy because in sea turtles, they only live up to 100 years old, but in the movie, the man or the sea turtle, he ended up living up to 180 years old. And I ended up going and I did some research, and sea turtles only live between 50 and 100 years, but I feel like that's significant. Some of y'all are going to live long ass lives, and I feel like that's significant too. Some of y'all think that y'all life is going to be cut short at 50. It's not. I feel like some of y'all ain't even gonna die at 100. Y'all gonna make it to like 103 type shit. And I feel like the significance of that is to live your fucking life. Live your life. What's stopping you? This heartbreak? What's stopping you? You sitting over here feeling like you're a failure because your business didn't fucking work out? What is stopping you? You sitting over here choosing the wrong major in college? You wasting money? What is stopping you? You choosing the wrong career field? Switch it. It's time for you to find yourself. And I entitled this Finding Nemo. But I want to say finding you. I feel like this is all about you. Finding you. Finding out what does not serve you no more. And I feel like that's significant. I also wrote down seahorses equal good luck. And what's crazy is because I felt the need to sit over here and tell y'all real quick. How you doing, Tiny? How you doing, Angela? How you doing, Destiny? Sorry, I'm not in the chat tonight, but so tonight could be significant because it's definitely like only 2 p.m. here. So tonight could be something could be happening tonight. I'm not in the chat tonight. Some of y'all could be turning off your phone. I know yesterday I turned off my phone until approximately 9 p.m. Went the whole day without my phone. So maybe y'all need a day of like literally just recuperating, resting. So I wrote down Greeks believe, because I started researching like very lightly seahorses, and it says Greeks believed when sailors drowned that seahorses escorted them between the physical and the spiritual realm. And then I also wrote down seahorses can symbolize mysticism and intuition. And then it also said that seahorses also has a unique eyesight. I also wrote down ability to see the past, present, and the future at the same time. I want you to understand something. Seahorses, it's funny. Seahorses is significant for somebody out there, okay? Because God is like, don't even touch on it. You said enough. Okay. But let me tell you something. Because there's a part down here where I have to go back. And I don't even know if I wrote it down. I know I wrote it down, but I don't know if it's here. Let me tell you something about it. You know what's so crazy is because God is like, no. Y'all, it be so fucked up. Because there be shit that I be wanting to tell y'all. But I be like, am I supposed to tell y'all this? You know what? Because God has been... No, I'm not supposed to tell y'all. Okay. Sorry, can't tell y'all that part. I feel the need to tell y'all, go watch Finding Nemo. Figure out the intuitive downloads that you get for yourself. I also feel like if you guys are a spiritual person and you guys are like, y'all get downloads yourself, or you sit over here and like you do tarot and shit like that, I feel like there's a message for you in Finding Nemo. And I feel like some of you guys need to discern what messages you need to give out to the public versus what messages you need to keep to yourself. And I feel like that's significant too. Because sometimes, like, what I'm learning is that some things are meant for you guys, but some things are only meant for me and how I interpret things, okay? So that could be significant. Now, moving on. I wrote down taking pictures in water equals endangering fish. And I wrote down, and it's so funny because it was looked over in Finding Nemo. But like when the guy had went and actually captured Nemo, he had took a picture of Marlin, which is his dad. And when he took a picture, it just caused him to go like all out of whack, like didn't know where he was at all. And you know what's crazy? Now that I'm thinking about it, some of y'all could be celebrities, because it's like some of y'all, like I know, like when like it was like big scandals back in the day. Like I don't think that paparazzi is that big like that now, but it's like back in the day when there was big scandals, like they would be like pictures being taken by to these celebrities and they couldn't even move, and like I wonder, like, could they even see? And then now I'm getting Princess Diana. The reason why her car crashed was because fucking the paparazzis were chasing her. So something about Princess Diana's death could be significant. But anyway, she died because of the flashes of the camera. And I felt like when, for some reason, I got the downloaded messages that, like, maybe if you guys are taking pictures in water, or you guys are doing deep diving or deep sea diving and stuff like that, just be careful, because I feel like you guys are endangering fishes. And now I'm getting you guys are poisoning fish. I'm also getting you should not eat fish because they are poisoning fish. I also wrote down fish are friends, not food. And then I wrote down don't judge a book by its cover. So I feel like if you guys are, like, if y'all watch any of my YouTube videos, if you guys are new here, I usually post all my lives on my YouTube. Go watch, if this is resonating with you, go watch Little Italy, because there's something within that video on my YouTube for you, okay? Also, I wrote down don't judge a book by its cover. And the reason why I wrote that down after I said fish are friends, not food, is because during the part where they are, what is it called, where they are where it's like the 3 sharks, and it's like they're like, it was bring a fish to the meeting day type shit. And they thought, like, Marlon and Dory thought that they were going to sit over here and be ate by these sharks. But they were like, and then there was another little fish that actually was there too, but he was scared out of his fucking mind. And it's like, listen, like, we're just here to show you that, listen, we're trying to be your friends. So maybe you guys could sit over here, like, maybe you're the type of people that judge based off of pretenses, judge based off of how people look. And it's like, you don't need to judge people. It's like, maybe y'all sit over here and came into my life and you like, look at this girl and shit like that. Angela, my YouTube is in my link in my bio, but you can also sit over here and just type in Tavion Mason and it'll be there too. It's the same as my name on here. But I feel the need to sit over here and tell y'all, like, maybe y'all sit over here and judge people based off of, like, just outer appearances. And I feel like God is like, don't do that, because you're missing a lot of blessings by doing that. I also feel the need to sit over here and say, if you deal with people that judge people based off of books, it's like, you need to sit over here and you need to get rid of those people. But fish are friends and not foods. For some reason, I just feel like some of you guys need to go to the eye doctor. I feel the need to tell y'all that, because my eyes have been acting crazy today. And if only one fucking eye is the craziest shit. The other eye is fine, but one eye is not. So that could be significant. I wrote down cover. Oh, I said don't judge a book by its cover. And then I wrote down addictions. So maybe you could be dealing with somebody that was an addict of something. And I feel like you shouldn't judge them based off of that. I also wrote down get something off my chest. I don't know what that means, but I just wrote down get something off my chest. So some of you guys need to get something off your chest. Maybe you had an addiction problem. Maybe I feel like if you guys have something that you have hide or that you don't, like, that's in your closet, then why are you judging other people by their outer appearance when you went through shit? That makes you a hypocrite. You think because you made it out of the mud that now you can sit over here and put your 2 cents out there. And I feel the need to sit over here and tell y'all, like, that's why some of y'all are going through karma right now. Because some of you guys sit over here and, like, when you was down bad, when you had those, when you was at that time in your life with all those demons in your closet, you know, you did what you could. Maybe some of y'all was homeless. Maybe some of y'all was strippers. Maybe some of y'all was on the fucking poles. Maybe some of y'all was hoes. Like, maybe some of y'all was sitting over here on the corner. Maybe some of y'all was just sleeping in y'all cars. Like, some of y'all really went through a lot of shit. Maybe some of y'all suffered from alcohol addictions. Other sources of addictions, you know? But it's like, if people would have judged you at that time in your life and not giving you the opportunity based off of who you used to be, then you wouldn't even be who you are now. That's significant. So don't judge nobody else based off of the cover, based off of where they're at in life. Because all you can sit over here and do is hope that they wake up out of the loop that you woke up out of. And I feel like that's what you need to get off your chest. That's what you need to get out of your closet, is realizing that that experience that you went through made you who the fuck you are, and it did not define you. And if motherfuckers don't fuck with you based off of that, maybe you are hiding this from somebody that you're in a relationship with. You need to tell them, this is the reason I react like this. Maybe it could be like something like, because it don't gotta be, now I'm getting a few different things. Maybe it's like, for example, I'm gonna use me as a personal example. I sat over here and I went through an abusive ass relationship. I did not realize how impactful it was until I became an adult and started actually doing shadow work, which is i.e. this year. But I didn't realize how deep it was within me that I be in fight mode in every relationship, every situationship. I always want to leave the shit before because I just felt like it's easier. But I felt like nobody in my past understood it because I didn't understand it. But I felt like I had to start speaking up about my past, like me being abused and me being in that type of relationship, in order for people to understand that don't raise your voice at me because that scares me. I feel like your past is significant as to why, and it might even help you. It's like y'all gotta get something off y'all chest to people around y'all, and maybe it don't even gotta be to like just a significant other. It could be a significant loved one though. It could be like a family member. It's like, yo, you hurt me, you was not there, you abandoned me, and it caused me to have this chain reaction. Anyway, let's keep going. Snails, mussels, and octopus could be significant. I feel the need to tell you that these are shellfishes. So some of you guys might be allergic to shellfish, or maybe you're thinking about becoming like a pescatarian, or maybe you're thinking about being like limiting your pescatarianness. It's like, I don't want to eat shellfish because that's where the poison is. Also, I wrote down some of you guys need to have friends to hold you accountable. And I feel the need to tell y'all that is because I feel like a lot of you guys are like, y'all have friends, but they're like influencing your bad behaviors. You have friends, but they're influencing you to do bad things. It's like, if you do it, I'm gonna do it. Like, but it's like, no, you need a friend that's gonna sit over here and tell you when you're wrong, because right is right and wrong is wrong. Ooh. I wrote down a part in Finding Nemo because y'all, my eyes is fucking hurting so bad. See, so okay. I wrote down, but I have a poor fin. There was a part where Nemo was in the actual was in the tank. And during that part in the tank, he was sitting over here. The guy, there was a fish that had another like poor fin as well, and he was just like, I need you. He was like, Nemo, I need you to swim up to make this tank dirty so we can go and escape into the ocean. And he was like, Nemo was like, but I can't. But it's so crazy because in the beginning of Finding Nemo, Nemo was like, I can do it. I am ready. Like, I'm ready. But because his dad had projected onto him that he wasn't ready, that there's just things that he can't do, he kept screaming at him. Some of y'all have parents that used to scream shit onto you that you can't. They projected that you won't never be shit. They projected all this stuff onto you. I feel like because of that, when you actually got the opportunity to show that you are worthy, you said, I can. And then you met somebody that was an older version of you, because even though they look different, Nemo had a poor fin, and the other guy, I can't remember his name, he had a poor fin too, and he was like, that never stopped me. And Nemo, and I feel like that's the significant. A lot of y'all are stuck in y'all situations because y'all don't have mentors. To me, that other bigger fish was a mentor to Nemo at his young age. It's like, listen, only you can limit yourself. If you think that because you got a little small little fin that everything, like, it's like, if you think that that's going to limit you, it's like, it's not. I made it through that. Some of you guys are supposed to be mentors too, going back to your addictions, going back to shit that's in your closet. That's why it's time for you to speak up about that shit. And the reason why is because your story can help somebody that's 17 going through that shit, that's in high school going through that shit. You can avoid, like, you can help somebody not make the same mistakes that you made. You could catch somebody before they spiral, because they're so easily influenced at that time. Nemo was easily influenced. And maybe, and just maybe, I need you to understand something. Maybe you're easily influenced too by your surroundings. And that's why it's time for you to get out of your surroundings. Because you got to sit over here and realize that Nemo had to go all the way from his fucking home, from the ocean, to this fish tank in order to even get this experience. So that could be significant. Granted, it wasn't comfortable. Granted, Nemo was scared. Granted, Nemo didn't even know what the fuck happened. But that was Nemo's miracle. It's all about perception. See, Nemo was always worried about going back home. But going back home to what? To a father that's limiting you? Going back home to what? To a father that's overprotective? Going back home to what? But it also took for Nemo to be gone for Marlin, which is Nemo's dad, to sit over here and even open up. For him to even realize that Nemo really can do this shit. For him to better his parenting styles. So I need y'all to understand something. That could be, y'all need to go away from y'all parents. Maybe y'all live with y'all parents right now. Maybe it's time for you to sit over here and step away in order to have new experiences. Some of y'all are always focused about going home. But home is always going to be the same. Some of y'all, but the point of the matter is, I got to go back to the point of Nemo being in this new environment. In this new environment, Nemo met new friends. In this new environment, Nemo learned not to limit himself. And what did that take for him to be away from people that projected shit onto him? So what I'm telling y'all is that some of y'all, it's time for y'all to move out of y'all hometowns. Some of y'all, it's time for y'all to get new friends that support you. What is it? It's like, and it's crazy because within that, I didn't even realize, because I don't even got that wrote down. I didn't realize how significant the tank was. And the reason why the tank is so fucking important is because within that thing, they all had one common goal, and they was able to fucking sit over here and execute that goal. Even if one person was the only one that made it out. That's what a true family is. It's like, it's crazy because there was a time where the whole goal was to sit over here and get them all to the ocean. That was the whole fucking goal. But before Nemo came along, and hear me, oh shit, this shit is going over my head right now. Wait, pause, y'all, because y'all gotta hear me really quickly. I never been so excited to talk about Finding Nemo in my life. Before, there's a few steps I gotta explain to you. Before Nemo even popped up in that fucking fish tank, there was just a whole bunch of fucking fishes that, like, there was one fish that always wanted to go back to the fucking ocean. Always. But it's like, he got so depressed, all the fucking fishes in there just thought it would never happen. They would never go back to the ocean, right? Guess who pops up? Nemo. Guess what pops up? A seagull. They sit over here saying, the seagull is like, yo, your dad is looking for you, which inspired them to sit over here and actually create a plan in order to get Nemo and get all of them to the ocean. What happened is that there came some time where they came up with the plan, they executed the plan, but guess what? By the time they woke up, by the time they thought that they was going to execute the plan had failed because they had cleaned the tank while the fishes were asleep. I want you to understand something. Just because that plan failed or it didn't go exactly how it was supposed to go, they still ended up getting, they had to sacrifice, the friends had to sacrifice themselves in order to get Nemo back to the fucking ocean. That's what real friendship is. Some of y'all are in friendships with motherfucking people that want to keep you exactly where the fuck they are. God is like, I don't want you to have no more fucking friendships that keep y'all stagnant. I want y'all to have friendships to realize that, yes, the whole common goal is for us to get out. But like, listen, even if there's only room for one person to get the fuck out, we're going to get you there. We're going to fight for you to get there. And what happened? Nemo even made it to the ocean. He made it back to his dad, but y'all didn't even catch the rest of the part, because the significance is it was not just about Nemo. Nemo inspired change within this friend group. Like, listen, if Nemo made it out, I'm going to make it out too. We all going to make it out. So guess what? They sat over here and made another fucking plan. After Nemo made it to the ocean, they made a whole nother plan. Same plan. And guess what? They said over here, what they say, they said, we're going to sit over here. We're going to make this fish tank dirty. We're going to sit over here. Once we get in these bags, we're going to roll the fuck over. We're going to cross this fucking road and we're going to get back to that ocean. In that movie, they made it to the fucking ocean, y'all, because they sat over here and stuck to the fucking plan. One little fish, one person inspired that change. So what I mean by that, so let me go and let me break it down into people's terms, y'all. Because hear me. The reason why I'm telling y'all this is that some of you guys are being called to go into to a place that's uncomfortable. Y'all are getting called to fucking move to a new place. Even if it's just a town over. And the reason why is because that's what's going, it's like y'all don't even know how big y'all are. Y'all don't understand that y'all are star seeds. So because you guys are star seeds up in this bitch, y'all need to sit over here and realize that y'all significance is like, even though you don't think you're significant, your story is significant. Who you are is significant. So you have to move in order to meet these new fucking people, to inspire change within this group. And even though you're not supposed to stay there, because Nemo didn't stay there the whole time. What Nemo did was inspire his ass. He had a goal. He made it to his goal, but then it allowed other people to actually inspire them to fucking make it to their goals. And from that, y'all, I want y'all to understand something. Nemo had an experience. A lot of y'all are sitting over here stopping your lives from having these new experiences, these new encounters, these new relationships, this new fucking just new everything. Because you have this limited belief from what was projected onto you from your parents. You have a limited belief because you sat over here and you heard that you can't all your life. So even when you got by yourself or you got into relationships, your relationship said, oh, well, he was taught or she was taught that they can't either. So guess what? Now y'all are two I can't ass motherfuckers. And because of that, now all of a sudden that's what you're producing. But God is like, no, it stops within you. It stops the I can't stop with you. And now I'm getting love in basketball. He said I can't should never be in a man's vocabulary. I can't should never be in nobody's fucking vocabulary. That's significant. And I feel like that's the next level, y'all. Y'all keep asking God, what's next? The next level is for you to make a fucking jump. Literally. Let's keep going. Because that was not on the paper, but I guess we having epiphanies, y'all. I guess we fucking talking today. Now let's keep going. Whew. I wrote down P. Sherman 42, Wallaby Way, Sydney. Australia could be significant. What's interesting, the reason why I wrote that down is because Dory did not have the poorest memory. Some of you guys could have really bad memories. But when it came to that address, she remembered it. Even when, like, at the end of the movie, when her and Marlin was about to part ways, she remembers Nemo's name. And I feel like that's significant. Some of you guys might have been under a spell that caused your memory to sit over here. Maybe caused you not to remember who you are. But I feel like the more healthier you get, the more you work towards your dreams and your goals, the more you discover who it is that you are. 6 months. But I feel like the significance of that is that she remembered. I also wrote down, like P. Sherman 42, it was actually a song, and it was written by Thomas Newman, so you can be dealing with somebody named Thomas. But I wrote down October 20th, 1955, because that's when he was born. And he is a Libra. And you know what's crazy is because for some reason, y'all, I have been saying this for the past few readings, but Terry, the name Terry, could be significant. Because he was married to a woman named Terry. Or actually, two things. It wasn't him that was married to somebody that was fucking, it wasn't him. It was, fucking, at the end of Finding Nemo, they did a RIP to this person. I can't remember what the person's name is. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. But that person is married to somebody named Terry, so that could be significant. Anyway, keep going. I also wrote down swim through it, it's not over. And I feel like that part is about listening to your intuition. See, I want y'all to understand something. A lot of y'all don't give y'all intuition and y'all gut feelings enough credit. And it's crazy because at that part, Dory was like, there was a person that guided her, and they told her that, or they told her like, yo, you need to swim through it, don't swim over it. But because Dory had a bad memory, her intuition reminded her though, like, you're not supposed to swim over it, you're supposed to swim through it. But Marlin didn't listen. And I feel like that's significant. I feel like a lot of you guys ignore your intuition and just go with what other people say because they think, because they're more headstrong than you are. And I feel like God is sitting over here saying that you need to, one, in order for you to get over, because there's 2 points I got to tell you guys. In order for you to get through what it is that you're going through, this hardship right now, you have to get through it. You got to swim through that shit. You got to sit over here and get yourself out of it. Nobody else can get you out of it. The second thing that's important about it is that you got to listen to your intuition and trust that your intuition is so much on point that you're not going to go over nobody else, even if somebody else is headstrong. I feel like some of y'all just need to think bigger, though. I did write it down. I want y'all to understand something. Do y'all remember in the beginning of Finding Nemo? In the beginning of Finding Nemo, they said over here and you know what? I'm not even going to touch on that. Keep going. Catch Me If You Can is significant. Maybe you guys just watch that movie, or you should go back and watch that movie. I also wrote down Where Coral. And then, you know what's crazy is because Coral was Marlin's wife's name, which is Nemo's mom. So Coral could be significant. And Coral was actually killed by a barracuda, which is a fish. So, is y'all ready to finish this last little part? Because this is where things get a little bit interesting, okay? Alyssa, no, this is not for someone specific. I'm just doing downloads right now. Thank you, Shantae. This is where, so that was Finding Nemo, okay? This is where things get a little bit, I want y'all to just hear me. This is purely downloads. For some reason, the death of Steve Irwin popped up. And really, it was because of the jellyfish part of Finding Nemo. So for some reason, I just started doing I started looking up Steve Irwin. He actually died in 2006, which could be significant. So then my random download when I first Googled him was there conspiracy to kill him? And the reason why I said that is because the next thought that popped up in my head was, is he worth more dead than alive? And then he was 44. And the reason why is because I started thinking about rappers and how they always sit over here and they always die mysteriously, like Young Dolph, XXXTentacion, fucking the list can go on and on. But they're worth, even Pop Smoke, RIP my man's Pop Smoke, RIP everybody, but everybody's worth more dead than they are alive. And I wondered, like, and I didn't even do extensive research, but I was thinking about going back and doing research on how much did he make when he was alive versus how much what did he make once he actually died, and then did his shows start picking up. I was wondering, like, so maybe that's for y'all to look up, maybe that's not for me to look up, but it's like my mind went as deep as, okay, how was his streaming doing during that time? Like, what was his streaming numbers like dropping? And they was just like, well, fuck it, in order for us to get more money, we should just kill him, because that's what's going to produce, that's what's going to sit over here. And like, it's like, did they start selling more things of his? Like, that's significant. Okay. And actually, Steve, catch me, y'all, Steve Irwin's wife's name was what? Terry is significant, so shout out to my nigga Terry. And what's crazy is that Steve Irwin was actually born on February 22nd, 62. So it's 2222. And he's a Pisces, so that could be significant. And he died on September 4th, y'all. Today is September 4th. Somebody go look up that man. Somebody go look up that man. Somebody. Well, R.I.P. He died today, y'all. R.I.P. Steve Irwin. And y'all, I didn't even mean to do that. That's crazy. I wrote this on August 31st. That's crazy. Anyway, I wrote down his wife's name is Terry, and she was born in Oregon. Her birthday was July 20th, 1964, so she's a Leo. And you know what's crazy is I wrote down one of Steve Irwin's sayings was, never stop feeling even if an accident occurs. So then it inspired me to, like, so then I'm like, okay, well, wait, how did he die again? He died by being stung by jellyfish. What happened? He was dealing with a unique jellyfish, y'all, because I did a whole deep dive on his death. And I was like, he died significantly from, like, it was a unique short-tailed jellyfish. Usually it does, but usually it's presumed to not be harmless unless they feel like they are, what is it called? Unless they feel like they are at harm's way. But when I said, when I heard the never stop filming, even if it's an accident, the immediately, like when I heard that quote that they said that he always says, I instantly got anything for money, anything for the money. And the crazy part is that he was filming. He wasn't even filming for his own stuff. He was filming for his daughter's documentary. His daughter had a documentary coming out, so he was getting footage of like wild animals, of the most dangerous animals. But his daughter was young as shit, but it was like for her show. But anything for the money, right? He died before he made it, I wrote down. His daughter is currently 25. His son is 19. But at the time of 2006, like, anyway, point of the matter is that I wrote down that they recorded his death. They said that he ended up dying because he got too close to the stingray, and the stingray like basically went into his chest. And at first they thought that it was just a punctured lung, but it actually turned out that it was in his heart too. They actually hit his heart, and they said that he had got hit over 100 times. And the camera room, the rule was never stop filming. So instead of getting him to the surface, it's like they kept filming it until they realized that he really was dying. And he really, and what's crazy is because I stopped writing after that, but what I remember is that he said over here in he sat over here and he was like, I'm dying. Like, it's like Steve Irwin had came to terms that he was really dying. But it was already too late. But who's to say that that's even true? Steve Irwin could have died a whole nother way and his wife could have been in on it. Did he have a life policy? But what I'm saying all this to say, that's conspiracy, y'all. Who the fuck knows? RIP my man Steve Irwin. But what I'm saying is that sometimes you don't know that life is over before it's over, so enjoy it. You never think that your life is gone. He was a crocodile hunter. He went after thousands of animals time and time again. Who would have thought he would have been taken out by a stingray? It's irony. But then it's crazy because I thought about, like, in reality, I tried to picture it in my head like Steve Irwin actually going under and actually being stung by a stingray over and over again. And I thought about blood coming out. And then it reminded me of the scene where Dory and Marlin was actually with those 3 sharks, where they were saying fish are not food. And what ended up happening was that Dory hit her head so hard that she started leaking blood, and that blood ended up going into the shark's, one of the shark's nose, and it caused him to have a reaction like, I want to eat this fish, I want to eat this fish. So there's 2 meanings behind that. Some of you guys, and hold on, before I even touch that, the only reason why Dory did not get ate is because he had 2 accountable friends that said fish are not food, that held him back. That's the significance of you having accountable friends, is that even if you are tempted, they're going to hold you accountable to make sure you don't fumble. That doesn't make them bad friends, that make them good friends. The second part of it is that I want you to understand something. You guys should not be in environments that trigger your addictions. If you have a sex problem, if you have an alcohol problem, if you have substance abuse problems, if you have an anger problem. Sometimes you might be angry or you might be addicted to hitting motherfuckers. Like, take it as it resonates. We all have other addictions. Maybe you have a foot addiction. Point of the matter is that what I'm saying is that if you know that you have this problem and you're trying to work on this problem, it's time for you to fix it. And don't tempt yourself, okay? Shout out to my man's Finding Nemo. Thank you, Pixar, for that production. Let's get into some fucking cards and let me get out of here. I think I might do some amethyst, okay? Whew. Y'all, what should the collective know right now? How we coming? I feel, so some of you guys could live in Atlanta, but some of you guys could live in Chicago too. I feel the need to sit over here and say, just watch your back. And you know what's so crazy, y'all? Not to be a conspiracy theorist, but what the fuck just came out? Y'all see that? That man has three fucking knives in his heart and in his chest. So I'm just saying, Steve Irwin could have been murdered. But the point of the matter is that on a serious note though, I feel like you guys need to sit over here and watch your back. 3s are significant. I keep saying that. I don't know. It's going to make sense later though. I feel the need to tell y'all that this will be on my YouTube so you guys can come back and watch it. I'm going to probably entitle it Finding Nemo. But I feel the need to tell y'all that watch y'all back. Watch y'all back and watch y'all company. Watch the seeds that you plant. And watch who you choose. Watch who you choose just because you are a supportive person. See, a lot of y'all, it's funny because a lot of y'all are like giving people. Y'all are naturally nice people. You guys are naturally people that sit over here and want to offer things and people to help people. Just help. But the point of the matter is that you have to be careful about who it is that you help, because some of these people are out to get you. Steve Irwin. Some of these people, and you know what's crazy is that they'll stab you. What is that, a skull? Beauty, I haven't checked my phone, but it's probably there. Hold on, let me pull up my laptop. Oh, right now? And you said that at 2:34. Right now? I feel the need to tell you guys that you sit over here and you need to cut away. You need to be so real with yourself to where you are cutting away what does not serve you versus what does serve you. And I feel the need to tell y'all, go watch that reading that I just posted yesterday. It's 2 parts. One part is 40 minutes and the other part is like an hour and 33, but they both coincide together. But specifically, if you're like, I don't got that type of time, scroll until you see me doing the cards. I don't know what timestamp that is, but there's something within that message within that, because I see that this is the second part to that, if that makes sense. Some of you guys are cutting away from things that no longer serve you. Thank you, Cassandra. The 28th of September could be significant. You guys are rowing away from all your troubles. I feel like that's the significance. See, your heart has got you in a lot of messed up situations. I feel your heart has sat over here and took away a lot of opportunities because you always kept putting people back into your shit. But you don't realize, see, your heart sees the good in everybody, but in reality, your logic needs to rule right now. And the reason why is because you gonna end up like Steve Irwin, always trying to sit over here and get a check. You only, and maybe it's not even you. Maybe you're around people. Weird talking. Wait, we just got deep. Maybe you're around people that are only worried about money. Only about money. It's about money. The best shot. What did he say? I don't care if, like, keep filming even if don't stop filming even during accidents. What is that? Oceans? I want you to understand something. Steve Irwin's death is significant. I feel like Steve Irwin, like, he literally, is it Irwin or Irvin? It's Irwin. It's Irwin. But Kyrie Irvin, and he's the number 3. So something about Kyrie's Irvin could be significant too. But I feel the need to tell y'all that I feel like Steve Irwin started off, I feel like y'all's story could resonate with, like, your story could be similar to Steve Irwin's. Like, y'all could be this loving, this caring person, like this giving person. That's what brought in the money for Steve Irwin. What brought in his production and his sales was him being him being funny, him being charismatic. That's significant. But then he got around the people that was around him that wanted more. That wanted more. They wanted more. They projected onto him because he was around these people for so many years, making them so much money. They got into his mind, into his logic, that don't stop filming. Like, what's the next best thing? They're always worried about what's the next best thing instead of being present. And that took away from his enamor. That took away from his charismatic, to where he had to start doing things. He had to start doing things to prove that he was worthy, which is, i.e., he got to outprove himself. Like, he has to outdo himself. So some of you guys are within this energy yourself of outdoing. You're always trying to outdo yourself. But the point of the fucking matter is that till death do you part. Till death do you part. Maybe I need to do more research on Steve Irwin's death, because it's crazy. I got this man that sit over here and got his heart stabbed out. I got the ocean here. I feel like this is significant for y'all, though, because God is like, now bring it to y'all life. Y'all cut out y'all true compassions, y'all true selves, for what's logical. What's logical is like, we need to do this money. This is what's selling. And you know what's funny is that when I was reading, his wife, Terry, she was from Oregon. So some of you guys could be from Oregon. Some of y'all don't realize that y'all got snakes in y'all grass. Y'all got snakes that are leading y'all. And that's why it's important for you to trust your intuition. Because what did we say during the reading? During the downloads? During the downloads, I told y'all that, listen, Dory's intuition, somebody guided her and said, yo, don't swim over the fucking little tunnel thing. Swim through it. Tunnels could be significant. Swim through it. Who was in Dory's ear? Nah, Marlon. I think so. Florida could be significant. And not that Marlon was doing it out of malice. Marlon just thought that he knew he was headstrong. Some of y'all are dealing with people that are headstrong, that can easily, like, you're easily manipulated. Your intuition told you to stop. Your intuition told you not to go down that path. Your intuition told you to not make that choice, but you're easily influenced. And I feel like this is a warning. This is a warning. Stop. This is a warning for you to go back to yourself. This is a warning for you to sit over here. X marks the spot. This is a warning for somebody out there, for all y'all. It's a warning for y'all to sit over here and realize. Let me tell y'all something. Hangman. Thank you, beauty. Some of y'all don't even realize that you're the target. You're the target. Your mind is the target. Cutting out your eyes, cutting out your senses is the target. And it's crazy because God wants you to stay balanced. But how can you stay balanced if you taking out yourself? Don't get me wrong, you're being projected onto. Don't get me wrong, like, you're sitting over here, catch me, y'all are being projected on where y'all should be led to. But the point of the matter is that where it's leading you to is death. Some of y'all are working yourselves to death. Some of y'all are trying to outdo y'all old selves, when God is asking you to have balance because you're killing yourself. Is that balance? You working so hard and not enjoying your life? Is it balance? Because Steve Irwin, we could do multiple things. You could say he worked himself to death. Did Steve Irwin ever even enjoy life? That's the tea. Is there any last minute messages? Some of you guys could be the ward of the state. But this man is leaving a cemetery. Georgia's not, she's sleeping. But she's not snoring. That's actually rain. We're doing rain sounds right now. You know what's crazy is because some of you guys are walking into your death if you don't change. And the devil card. The devil is guiding you. The devil is guiding you in this storm. And I feel like that's significant. Some of you guys are going through a lot right now, and the Wheel of Fortune is right here too. But before I even get there, some of you guys are really, it's crazy because I feel like the devil is guiding you and it's just laughing. Y'all, it's time for you to do a real self-evaluation of who's in your circle versus who's not, who you fucking on. I feel the need to tell y'all that's significant. Terry. Somebody Somebody do some research on Terry's and Irwin's fucking relationship, y'all. If y'all feel called to. Like, did they have a good relationship? Because she's a Leo and I'm hearing a lion ass Leo. And I don't even do the gossips, but it's just like, Steve Irwin was a Pisces and she was a Leo. And I'm hearing everything that glitters isn't gold. Maybe y'all are in a relationship with somebody and it's like y'all, they fake the funk. They fake it in front of other people, and that's the point. That's the manipulation tactic. And in front of everybody else, they make it seem like they your friend. Maybe these are your friends. It could be your family. It could be your own mom's type shit. In front of everybody else, they act like they the perfect mom. They always been there for you type shit. The perfect dad. He act like he always was there, but in reality, they wasn't. I also feel the need to tell you that, listen, the only way that you're going to get out of this hellhole, out of this cemetery, in order for you not to sit over here and actually run yourself dry, is for you to change. For you not to believe, for you to understand that this is the worst that it gets. Some of you guys, y'all are on this loop though. Some of you guys are in a loop of this though. How do they shift? You recognize who your enemies are. You recognize who your enemies are and you plan. Recognize who's the true devil. Recognize who's the people that's truly in your ear, the people that you take your advice from. Because what I'm telling you right now, who you think is your true enemy is not your enemy. That's a secret. Or that's a hint. That's a secret hint. Who you think, and another hint is who throws off your emotions. It could be a Scorpio. Could be a Libra. Who's jealous of you? I know y'all like to sit over here and act like y'all don't see it, but this time it's time for you to see it, because who you have in your circle, who you have Shantae said how she puts it is they were soulmates, but Leah was supposed to be one of Pisces' enemies. Who you get advice from? Who influenced Steve Irwin to go out there and do a dangerous fucking documentary out of his comfort zone? I don't even think he was filming in Australia. What beds are you laying in with the devil? Some of y'all don't even recognize who the true devil is, and that's the problem, and God needs you to reveal that. Heavy emphasis on who you laying with. If you know, you know. Mr. Trigger, I felt the need to tell you, come back. I'm going to post this on my YouTube. Come back and watch it. Because it's a whole thing. Like, you got to, it's a whole thing within Pisces. You can still watch this part, but I just feel the need to tell you to come back. Steve Irwin is a Pisces, though. That's what we were saying. Who you're laying with is the enemy. And you know the power is within 3. I'm going to keep saying it. The power is within the 3. Shantae said, I was sleeping next to the devil for 2.5 years. Glad I finally learned to walk away. But did you walk away, Shantae? Or are you still mentally holding on to this person? Because the card said you still mentally holding on. Y'all, I cannot make this shit up. We got the Lover's card. We got the Two of Cups. We got the Six of Baskets. We got the Wheel of Fortune. We got the Devil. Let me tell y'all something. If this energy is hitting you, it's the wife. It's the wife. Steve Irwin's wife. I'm gonna stop touching on that lady. The enemy that's in your motherfucking ear is the person you're laying next to. And if you're not married, you don't gotta be married. Who are you fucking right now? If you're fucking multiple people. Because in this first card, there was 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're celibate, your friend group. Your friends come over and lay in your bed. Who's laying in your bed? That's the enemy. Find the fucking devil. The devil always sits over here. And even when you identify the devil always can shift skins. You got it. That's the riddle. That's the secret. You have to figure it out. But the goal, the secret is, you could be a Cancer. You could be a Taurus. You could be a Leo. You could be a Libra. You could be a Virgo. Or dealing with these signs. But open your eyes. Realize, and I'm going to give y'all another hint. When you be around these people, does your luck just, do you have bad luck? Do you have bad experiences with these people? What happens? Start paying attention to what happens with everybody you're around. When you're around each, and I don't care if you got to sit over here and you got to do you go to all your friends. Maybe do it one by one. You go to one friend's house. See what happens. See what happens the next day. See if your energy feels depleted. When you leave your friend's house, do you feel exhausted? When you leave your friend's house, do you sit over here and have bad luck? You get a flat tire. Do you, and catch me, because if it's a good friend, if it's somebody you're supposed to keep in your life, you go back feeling rejuvenated. You feel like you got good luck now. You feel inspired. But be careful, because the devil can switch faces. So maybe it might not be immediately. Certain devils, and catch me, certain tactics of the devil can be stronger versus some can be weaker. So some of them can't, they know how to, let me tell you something. About to teach y'all something real quick. About to teach y'all something real quick. How you doing, Shasha? Threes can be significant. It could be 3 people. I feel the need to tell y'all that, listen, some people can't hold their mask. When they're a new devil, they can't hold their mask, so your energy can be drained immediately. You can identify them immediately. That's the person. But there are some devils that are more clever. Your energy won't get drained until day 3. Maybe the next day, you're okay. You're inspired. They inspire you. Come that second day, though, you're tired. That third day, you're completely, like, you can't move. Devils get creative when you're able to identify them. They get creative. They cast illusions. Poor me. He was doing it for his family. He was doing it for his daughter. Y'all, R.I.P. Steve Irwin, my crocodile man. That man was fighting for his fucking life. But by the time he realized that, it was too late. R.I.P. Steve Irwin. I'm gonna leave it there, y'all. I do feel called to do some readings, so I'm gonna end this live here so I could post this as my post this on my YouTube like this, because I want to keep it like this. But we're about to do some readings, so is y'all ready to do readings? Y'all already fucking know. If y'all are new to my live, I always do lives on this motherfucking reading. But yeah, we're doing readings today, so give me 2 seconds. I'm about to end this shit and I'm about to come back live, okay?